Thank you. In a moment, we'll be in the book of Hosea. Hosea's a minor prophet. I'm not always terribly certain why we say that, because the Bible itself does not differentiate minor and major. And the book of Hosea has 14 chapters. There are those that are of the major prophets that aren't that long. And so I don't think length is the point that's being set forth. Hosea would be the equivalent of John. John is known as the apostle of love. Hosea is the prophet of love. Hosea had a heart prepared by God for preaching to the people of that day. A heart prepared by God. You see, we defined a couple of weeks ago idolatry. Now you can look in Colossians 3:5 and learn that covetousness is idolatry. Well, that helps you with the definition of idolatry. Idolatry doesn't necessarily mean you're bowing your knee to an entity. You're bowing your knee not necessarily to something that can be seen, but you're bowing your knee to something greater than God. You see, idolatry is anything that means more to you than God. That's your idol. In the U.S. today, comfort may be the idol of more of us than we realize. You see, God didn't come that you and I would have comfort. He came that we would have life and have it more abundantly, not that we would be comfortable. And we think we've been mistreated if we're not comfortable. Well, that's but an idol. God said, the poor you'll have with you always. Well, Lord, I'm not very comfortable in this situation. He said, but there's nothing about your situation that separates you from a relationship with me. Oh, I guess that's right. I guess it's me that's allowing that to come between me and you. He said, that's right. It needn't be that. And I began to get God's priorities straight in my mind and understand what He wants. He came to seek and to save that which was the lost. Luke 19:10. I hear God saying in heaven, I need a volunteer to go to her earth and symbolize what I want symbolized, live what I want lived in a godly fashion. You see, God didn't come for comfort. He came for us to be holy. It means something to God if we are holy. The word means pure and dedicated. So I see God came for me to be pure and dedicated. There's no comfort necessarily there. All I can see that's there has got discomfort. Well, Lord, you're wanting me to be things that are not natural to me. He said, you're right. I'm wanting you to be things that are not natural to you. I'm wanting you to be holy. Well, And I find at the end of my excuses, and probably there are as many as there are people, that it doesn't work, because God says, be ye holy, even as I am holy. 1 Peter 1:15. God wants me to be holy. God wanted a volunteer to go to earth. Go to earth and take care of a job he wanted done. I think if we were there, there's not a one of us that wouldn't volunteer to do what God wanted to do. Here am I, Lord, send me. Isaiah 6:8. I'll be happy to go. He said, okay, you can be the one that goes. But what I want you to do is I want you to be Hosea. That'll be your name. And Hosea, I'm going to have to train you to be the man that I need preaching to Israel, because Israel is ungodly. And I'm wanting you to speak with Israel about their ungodliness. But I've got to prepare you that you've got a difficult task in front of you. But there's no part of your task that will keep you from being unholy. It may keep you from being comfortable, but not from being holy. Well, what task is there? And that brings me to the book of Hosea, the first chapter, and verse 1. And Hosea was immediately after Amos, possibly contemporary for a little part, but they were so different. Amos was highly wanting them to be just and kept preaching justified. Hosea is the prophet of love. It says the word of the Lord that came unto Hosea. Now you can go to Deuteronomy 18 and get the definition from the Bible of a prophet of God. Here he is, and he hears the word of the Lord that came unto Hosea, the son of Beeri, in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah. So what you've got there is the 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th. So we've got the divided kingdom. We've already been through Saul, David, Solomon, and then the divided kingdom, Jeroboam and Rehoboam. But he's telling you the time. And we've got 10, 11, 12, and 13 there of Judah is what he's talking about. And the days of Jeroboam, the son of Joash, Jeroboam was the 13th king of Israel. King of Israel. So we know where the times are. We're at a time where there's rampant ungodliness. And things are going to be very difficult. And he's already set forth through Amos justice and trying to preach by justice. But now he's going to send Hosea and try to preach through loving kindness to get the people to turn back to him. He goes on. The beginning of the word of the Lord by Hosea. So we've got the divine command of God to Hosea. Now I'm tying this in with what we've already said. The divine command of God to Hosea. And the Lord said unto Hosea, go take thee a wife of whoredoms. Well, now wait a minute, Lord. I had a different woman in mind. He said, well, wait a minute. You said you wanted to do job that I had to be done. Well, Lord, but I had in mind it being a little more comfortable, a little more pleasant. He said, that's not the job that I have to be done. That's the job you want. That's not the job that I want done. I think that preaches to you and me. God wants a man like you to be holy where you are. God wants a woman like you to be holy where you are. God wants me to be holy. God's not that worried about discomfort. He said, the poor you'll have with you always. Well, Lord, I thought you were going to fix all of those little serendipitous things. He said, oh, no. I've never told you that. I have told you differently than that. If you had listened to what I've got to say. Well, Lord, why do you want me to go marry a woman of whoredom? He said, because it's going to make you able to preach to the children of whoredom. You are going to be made sympathetic to my struggle. Your struggle, God, yeah. My struggle. Israel and Judah have been unfaithful to the covenant that I've established with them, and it has crushed my heart. And I'm wanting you to be able to preach that with feeling, not just academics. Feeling. I'm wanting you to tell the story the way the story needs told. Ooh. Well, Lord, I had something in mind a little easier than that. He said, you said you wanted to be my man. And I'm now telling you the job that my man needs to do. Wow. He goes on. And he said, go take thee a wife of whoredoms. He's talking about a daughter of the age. She's not unfaithful at the beginning. She's not that which she shouldn't be as he picks her. But she's a daughter of the age. Now think with me, men and women. What is a child of our age? Seems like as children of our age that we've totally devalued marriage. It just doesn't mean much anymore. We just live together and doesn't work out, catch you on the other side. That's children of our age. When we look at other things about children of our age, children of our age don't have a lot of respect for religion of any type. It's gone down to where not 50% of our age assemble anywhere. Children of our age think purity before marriage is just some kind of pie in the sky and this great by and by. Fornication is prominent in our age. Wow. You see, there is something to children of an age, isn't there? And I begin to look at that and we say, well, what are the tendencies of my age that I don't want any part to be of my life? And I begin to study the tendencies of my age that I've got to whip because my God wants me to be holy. And I study the tendencies of my age, and I'm not going to allow my age to make me not esteem church highly. And I'm not going to allow my age to devalue in my mind purity. And I'm not going to allow my age to make me get mad about something and so go into the mall and shoot everybody I see that I don't even know. And that's become children of our age. I've got to say to everybody that you didn't make me happy. It was your job to make me happy. It was your job to make me comfortable. So however many I kill on this, knowing I'm going to give my life, it makes no difference at all. I've got to study what it means to be children of an age. We know that we can damage children with our family raising. We can make children more amenable to things that are right or wrong by what we're doing. And therefore, we're wanting to be children of God, not children of the age. And we've got to evaluate the things that are about us. That's what he's talking about right there. A wife of whoredoms and children of whoredom. Well, you know, the children weren't yet. So they both have the same background. And he's talking about us raising our children. Children need love. That they might not need love so badly as adults. That they go where they oughtn't be. And the land, he's talking all the people, hath committed great whoredoms in departing from the Lord. Well, I see what the problem is. And Hosea, I need you to go talk to the people. So he went and took Gomer, the daughter of Diblaim, which conceived and bare him a son. And the Lord said unto him, call his name Jezreel. Now that name has a meaning. Jezreel means God will scatter. What's he saying to Israel? He's saying to Israel, I'm going to scatter you, Israel. I'm going to scatter you. Why? Because of your unfaithfulness. Because you're just like Gomer. And I've given you Amos to preach, justice, and I'm giving you Hosea to preach how much I love you. And yet I'm going to scatter you because you're unfaithful to what I want. Hosea 4:6 says, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. They don't know what holy is. They don't understand what they ought to be and what they ought to do. Oh, brethren, it begs that we know. That we know what holy is and that we allow holy to be what we are. But he goes on. And the Lord said, call his name Jezreel for yet a little while, and I will avenge the blood of Jezreel upon the house of Jehu, and will cause to cease the kingdom. That's an interesting story. It's over in 2 Kings 10. And what it amounted to was God charged them to kill the 70 sons of Ahab. To kill his 70 sons, 2 Kings 10. And he did it. He killed the 70 sons. God said, I'm down to verse 30 now. You did well in doing what I told you to do. And therefore your children, Jehu, will serve as kings for 4 generations. But I'm going to snuff out all of your people because what you didn't do placing me as the number one in your life. You did it because you wanted to do it. You didn't put me where I belonged in your life. You eliminated Baalism. That was the 2 struggles of that day. Baalism and calf worship. And those were the 2 denominations, if you please, of the day. Well, he was one of those. And it was eliminating the other one of those. So he did it for himself. He didn't do it with the right motive. Think about that. That preaches to me too. It's not always how right I do it, though that's important. but it's also the attitude with which I do what's right. And I learned that in 2 Kings 10. What an interesting concept. He did kill the 70 sons. Matter of fact, he even brought to Jezreel the heads of the 70 sons in baskets and set it at the gate to prove that he'd done what he should have done. God said, 30, thank you. 31, but it's going to cost you your life because you didn't do that with the right attitude. Wow. John 4:24 says God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. If I were to substitute words in that verse, I'd say God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in attitude and accuracy. It does make a difference what I do, but it does make a difference the way and the motive behind how I do it. And all of a sudden I realized that I'm not going to get away with just routinely doing things that are right, without doing things that are right because I serve God, not because I serve myself through comfort, but that I serve God. God, I'm going to be holy because you want me holy. And I respond to your interest in my holiness. In verse 5, he says, "And I shall come to pass at that day that I will break the bow of Israel in the valley of Jezreel." He's going to break their military power. That's the bow. "And she conceived again and bare a daughter. And God said unto him, Call her name Lo-Ruhamah, for I will have no more mercy upon the house of Israel." So we've got first boy, God will scatter. Second child, no more mercy. No more mercy. Brother, I'm suggesting that people that talk about once saved, always saved, never read the Bible. I'm not trying to be unkind, but the Bible's crystal clear that once saved is not synonymous with always saved. And God is crystal clear that how we do what we do and the reason we do what we do is crucial to salvation. How we do what we do and why we do what we do is crucial to salvation. No more mercy. Israel had degraded itself with calf worship and Baal worship to the point that God says it's over. Now, 722 BC, God sends Assyria, probably a less godly nation than Israel. But God sends Assyria to take Israel into captivity, and they were scattered. They never were brought together again. They stayed in Assyria. Wow. And this is Hosea's sermon. And he's passionately preaching this sermon because of Gomer. Because it's his life. He's passionately preaching this sermon. Please, please, people, be faithful to God. He said, I will have no more mercy upon the house of Israel, but I will utterly take them away, that I will not pardon them. So it's a prophecy that you and I know came true, but it's what Hosea is preaching. He goes on, but I will have mercy upon the house of Judah. Well, isn't that interesting? 135 years later, Judah went into Babylonian captivity after Israel had gone into Assyrian captivity. 135 years later, the iniquity of Judah was full and God took them. But God said right there, and Israel hadn't gone into captivity yet. He said, but I'll have mercy on the house of Judah, and will save them by the Lord their God, and will not save them by bow, nor by sword, nor by battle, or by horses, or by horsemen. Well, how are you going to save them, Lord? 2 Kings 19 says, an angel of the Lord came into camp and killed 185,000 of them. What'll I be? He said, I don't need any of that stuff. I don't need your ballistic missiles and your anti-ballistic missiles and your this and your that and your the other. I can send an angel. And an angel of the Lord can kill 185,000 in one night. I'm not limited by all of the things you're limited by. This is my world. And when your iniquity is bad enough, I know how to take care of that. Boy, does God speak to me of the need for holiness. And does God make me wish that I cared to be holy even more than I cared when I got up this morning? He goes on. Now when she had weaned Lo-ruhamah, she conceived and bare a son. Then said God, call his name Lo-ammi, for you are not my people. Look at that. Not my people. That's the third child. Oh, not my people. That's not mine. It's not yours, Hosea. Oh yeah, it's Gomer's. It's not yours. And I want you to tell Israel that they aren't mine. They are not mine. They are not my people. They are illegitimate children. Ooh. And why can Hosea preach it? He can preach it because he's living it. Why do I need to get it? I need to get it because I imagined that I was his people. And it could be that he is saying, I know who your God is. And it's not me. And there'll be no more mercy. You are not my people. Doesn't make any sense to not like this. What makes sense is to learn from it. What makes sense is to allow me to have a greater interest in holy. But he goes on. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, you are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, you are the sons of the living God. He said, that was it. He said, but don't think I'm going to end up with not enough people, because you're wrong. I'm going to end up with lots of people that want to believe in me as God. And in the same place where I said you're not my people, I will say you are my people. Different people, but I will say you are my people. You're the ones that are sons of the living God. You see, God's pointed out that he doesn't need us. We need him. We need him. I need to be the son of a living God. Oh. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together and appoint themselves one head. Boy, underline that, because that's a prophecy of Jesus. And not only the children of Israel, the children of Judah, but all the Gentiles would be gathered together in one body under one head. And the head of the body is Jesus, and the body is the church that Jesus died for. And he's preaching that, and it has happened, and we know it to be true. And Hosea is still preaching. He goes on. And they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel. Jezreel is great because it illustrated to us from God, doing the right thing with the wrong motive is not going to be adequate. You've got to do the right thing with the right motive. Oh, and then I believe here's another bad chapter break because we need to read 2 and 1. Say ye unto your brethren, am I? Well, now wait a minute. LaRue, am I, meant not my people. Am I means now you are my people. Oh. To your sisters, Rahama. It means hath obtained mercy. Not mercy no more. Hath obtained mercy. God is saying there will be a large group. A larger group when you count all of them together that have been assembled that will receive mercy. Because they are my people. You can look at 1 Peter 2, 9 and 10. And it says you're a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that you should show forth the praises of God. And that's our intent. And you who sometimes were not a people are now the people of God, verse 10. God's preaching. Hosea's heart's bleeding. And through Hosea, God's trying to reach to Israel and Judah, but God's still reaching through Hosea into my heart and possibly your heart too. If you're not a child of God or a child of God that feels you've pulled away, pull back. Pull back. The only thing that's crucial is that you be holy. Nothing can step between you and your God. I want to be God's man or God's woman. If we can be of assistance, let us know as together we stand and sing.